Liking the miniatures of an army is one thing, but if you're going to invest all the time, money and effort into building an army to play, then it helps to have some real reasons to get out there and want to be a general of that army on the tabletop. When we're battling to begin with, why do we care about our enemies? If you're going to put your name to an army, you'd better know their reputation. We're looking for a bit of escapism here, so let's dive into the top 5 thematic and lore reasons for being a Tomb King player. Number 1. Literal kings. The Tomb Kings quite literally get their name from hundreds and thousands of years of entombing their mortal selves and their most loyal soldiers inside great pyramids. When Nagash's failed attempts to resurrect all these long-lost kings and heroes under his own control failed, they did awaken, but with their own minds intact and in full control of their loyal armies once again. Those who didn't go mad from this insane transformation returned to doing what they do best, fighting each other for overall control once again. That is, until Cetra beat them all down, put them back on the bench, said when you needed you can come out again, and now stands at the helm of what would be in modern times the equivalent of the Roman Empire, suddenly being reborn into the Middle Ages. But with every single emperor and their legion who ever lived at their disposal. So while Julius Caesar sets out again to deal with the French, we'll send Pompey down south as his army, Hadrian up north was his, and so on and so forth. Literal badass heroes, all of their time, all back in action all at once, where the rest of the factions have to deal with just one faction leader. Pathetic. Number 2. What you are fighting for. Back when the Tomb Kings were alive, in their heyday, they controlled vast amounts of the known world, with one of the largest spanning empires ever seen. So if you think you're just around to base your armies in sand and defend the deserts, you should think again. Your armies are on the warpath to reclaim and return former glory. You better base that grass on for all the crusades into the border princes and Bretonnia that you'll be doing. Not to mention over countless years while the Tomb Kings have slumbered, many raids on their lands have occurred, meaning you'll have a book of grudges bigger than the dwarves to get through, once you find some time to finish counting through your treasure and remember what was stolen, that is. Number 3. Space to write your own story. With such a span of time, so many kings and heroes, you can easily play your army as any number of past kings or simply write in your own history. After all, the entire period is steeped in undiscovered tales. This could lend itself well to fun colour schemes, conversions and role-playing options to fit your style and be less of a Cetra clone, who, all things said and done, may not be the best person to look up to given he did sacrifice his own children, as well as a long list of other crimes, but don't worry about that. Number 4. You can be good or evil. While featuring in the upcoming, quote, evil side of the Ravaging Hordes book, there are good cases to be made for the Tomb Kings being fairly neutral. Mostly everyone else in your eyes can be seen as a bunch of upstarts who can't really be trusted, and you're still generally coming to terms with everything that's going on. You haven't really betrayed anyone recently because you don't have any friends. Mostly you've been self-defensive. You do have a long history of battling chaos and overall would sway towards order if picking sides here. Cetra is not the kind of person who likes to make allies and no doubt does want to get straight out to some ruthless conquering again, but this can really be said of most factions on the good side also. You do you is what you get to play as the Tomb Kings. You don't have to worry about diplomacy and relations. Spend a decade chilling if you want, build some massive constructs, wake up one day and conquer Astalia. It's all fun and games. Number 5. Your troops have great value. For the most part, the Tomb Kings can't summon up new skeleton hordes. They only have the ability to summon up Nehikarans, such is the magic that created them in this way. So if a unit of Tomb Kings is completely burned or beaten to dust, there's no salvaging them for the most part. They need them somewhat intact to restore them. So while we are a skeleton horde of seeming fodder, there is a lot of cherished value in these units, and rather it's the larger constructs which would be more disposable as they can be remade. The entire society is heavily focused on the afterlife with their minds somewhat intact from their past, so you're not a mindless rabble by any means, and you can take some further pride in your units knowing this detail. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this and it has sparked some extra thought into your own mind about how you view the Tomb Kings, and I will see you in the next video.